Hello everybody, we are back here with another video. Of course I want to get this out the way and I want to get this out of my chest real quick. Because I know over these videos I have yet to even go over a lot of Braun Strowman. Because in my opinion, and this is my opinion, so take it as you will, just know, you say anything that actually is a decent counter argument, I'll comment, we'll have a discussion. Anybody who says anything dumb to think I'm always going to do a personal attack on a guy, I'm just going to say thanks for watching my video anyway. So, I'm just going to say this. Braun is the worst champion we have probably ever had. He was literally over because he beat up what every other fan hated over Roman Reigns. And that's practically it. How's the highlight of your championship history winning a tag team title with a child? A referee's title, a child no less, and winning them again, and you could barely even hold them for a month because you held the tag titles with the world champion that you were obviously risking to defend them at Clash of Champions and trying to win the world title at the same time. And then everybody thinks that creme de la creme that you were actually going to beat Brock Lesnar. And this wasn't the first time you actually faced up against Brock Lesnar. I think you had him back at No Mercy, and you had him back at Crown Jewel, and you were supposed to fight him off at Royal Rumble of last year. But then, after you're an idiot and you tossed over your own employer's freaking limo, Finn Balor, Abercrombie and Fitch model with his personality being his abs. It's poor. It's completely sad to see how Braun has fallen. It's not like he was anything focused on to begin with, other than just being a giant slab of meat for the already dying irrelevant Wyatt family. Everybody knows how it is with him trying to rebuild his relevance and his legacy. We're doing the same crap over just ripping off other gimmicks to get himself over. And people kept applauding the Fiend gimmick because it brings up any other horror character into his likeness. But for a horror character to work, it has to be actually intimidating. And it's just fat Bray Wyatt wearing some dead skin on his face with clown makeup. I already lost any interest of his mystique, like at October and latter part of his Universal title reign, even though how long awaited that is, even though the Universal title already looks like Mattel plastic on Laffy Taffy. And then we have Braun Strowman, that had to be the replacement of already the top star in the company, beating a 50-something-year-old Goldberg. The guy had no character other than screaming and just trying to kick the shit out of people. And they thought, okay, that's a basic character. Screaming mountains, destroying his way to the top, and it could have been fine unless they made him speak. They made him speak badly, and they know how much of a lack of personality it is he has, a lack of any interest he has on the mic. We got rid of Ryback for this. A guy who actually looks like a top guy, a guy that can actually serve up a decent match, and a guy who actually has a good personality and an actual good chant. Because I'd rather scream out, feed me more for 24 hours a day than get these hands, even though the better line was literally, I'm not finished with you. So, yeah, that's practically it. I think that it's already dying of his career, even though he's literally the world champion on SmackDown. And he has yet to even display that much of legitimacy for a belt that's already 4 years in existence. To this day, people has memed the hell out of the Universal title, even if it just changed its freaking color. And we have changes to the United States title, the freaking United States title that hasn't changed design since 2002. I think 2003 though. The Intercontinental Championship with another unnecessary change, and the only belts to not change is the two women's titles that are literally just the World and Universal Championship. The tag team titles that are just the same pennies, but blue and red. And the only serviceable belt that actually has an identity is the women's tag team titles, because those are actually introduced for a different division that actually makes sense. So I'm just agitated at this point in time that Braun Strowman, the guy that was so highly supported to be the next top big guy or the next Savage Mountain, came from being a rampaging badass that can destroy anybody, even the top guy in the company, to just being, you're going to get these hands and get himself to serviceable lower mid-card feuds with The Miz and Morrison. What part of that screams like a top guy to you? It's really annoying. And some people want to put it as such that we just need to put some time. What is there to get him over? It's either Jeff Hardy, that we know Jeff Hardy's going to win anyway if he feuds with him, or Sheamus, that's heel, but that's going to end probably in a month because Sheamus is Sheamus. And I don't mind Sheamus. I find he seems like a good guy, and he seems like he has a lot of respect for the business, but he's just not a guy that I want to see 24/7. And he already had a lengthy reign with the world's heavyweight title that I remember vaguely he feuded with like 5 months with Alberto Del Rio that went nowhere. And of course, we have Bray Wyatt, his magnum opus of feud, because he was with a faction with him for under a year. And that has to bring some semblance of Braun Strowman hating him like he set his family on fire or something. It's dumb. It's dumb. And who likes it anyway? You had to find something to keep you interested on the Extreme Rules pay-per-view or the WrestleMania 36. Because I already lost my interest in The Fiend. I already lost my interest in 2018 for Braun Strowman because he already shows that he brings nothing into the table other than being a slab of meat and just people kicking the piss out of him. So yeah, I already feel like he's like the weakest world champion probably in history. And he's already holding on to the belt since WrestleMania. And that should be a good thing that he's having such a serviceable reign, considered strong when you've been beating up midgets and The Miz and Bray Wyatt. They shouldn't be able to touch you. Bray Wyatt doesn't even do anything to like deceive his enemies. He just comes around just with his repetitive cryptic messages. And it shouldn't be repetitive to be cryptic. And his lack of any storytelling in his matches, other than whenever WWE thinks, let's waste our WWE films budget on every Bray Wyatt feud. It's agitating. It's sad, and it doesn't make Braun feel any source of strong, intimidating, or legit, or cool. No children want to get a Braun Strowman figure unless it involved them remembering what happened in 2016, but that was 4 years ago. I just feel like we already lost any source of excitement